On this episode of We're No Damn Experts, Rebecca and Madi drag in one of their followers on Instagram to join them on the podcast.
Best damn podcast, the best damn town. You want to get up, get ready to get down. With its big wide sky and the wild river Thames. If you want to go, we can take you there to Great Falls, Montana.
Welcome to the greatest damn town in Montana, Great Falls. I'm Rebecca Ingham.
And I'm Maricela Hazard.
And together, we are no damn experts.
No, but today we have a mountain biking Great Falls champion, explorer, expert with us. If you follow us on Instagram at Visit Great Falls, we share a lot of his photos. And so we finally slid into the DMs and said, Chance Benedict, will you join us on the podcast?
And he said yes.
So, ladies and gentlemen, here he is.
Well, yeah, thanks for having me on. Thanks.
So, Chance, you said you came from Montana, but majority of your life is here in Great Falls, and that you grew up on a mountain bike. So pretty much you were able to pedal before you were able to walk.
No, not quite.
No? Okay. So how long have you been mountain biking?
Regularly about a year and a half now.
Okay.
So, a year and a half ago, I've been, in previous years a handful of times, but I decided to go out and go on a ride, and I had actually kind of a knee pain that winter. I had surgery on my knee several years back, and but yeah, I went on a ride and it took care of the pain. I was like, wow, this is nice, and I've been kind of looking for something to keep me active, keep me healthy, and so went out for a ride and went out for another one, and then just kind of got hooked after that, and yeah, it's kind of a big passion now. So
How often do you ride? Because
every day, I assume.
we assume like we're just living your life through Instagram with you. And
Yes.
it's like all the time you're out doing something cool. So how often do you ride?
Oh, I wished, but probably about once to twice a week on
Okay,
average.
that's still a lot.
That
I want to
is.
be out in the River's Edge Trail every day, and I'm not. I go out there maybe once a month. Just get busy.
Yep,
but you're
exactly.
out there and you take stunning photos. So, are you a photographer as
Yeah.
well?
Nope, just a pretty area.
Just
Okay, I've been in pretty areas and I come back and my photos are junk. So like I'll give them to Madi and she's like, oh, good job.
no, I do a little enhancement. You know, the quality is there. I'm just, lifting off the layers of dust, But your photo's amazing. And I'm pretty sure it's just Montana that makes everyone a photographer. But your photo of the Box Elder Creek, which we were talking about before we came in, I rushed over to Rebecca. Where is this from? And then, I don't know, searching for it. And you know what? It's on the River's Edge Trail. And we asked how you got there, and you gave us the route even. So it's a 7-mile ride?
Yeah, it's about like 15 miles round trip if you go. And and then the trail, there's not a trail down to the waterfall, but at the end of the loop, there's an overlook there, and you can just hike down to it. It's a 5-minute walk. And then, it's just kind of tucked back in the way from the trail. You just can't quite see it. You can hear it, but you can't see it, and go around there, and it's a...
How did you find out about this?
A friend of mine said he'd heard that there was a waterfall down there, but neither of us had seen it. So it had been on my mind to go down to it, to explore.
And you took this photo while it was frozen.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was in January.
Yeah. So he's out recreating on a bicycle in the winter, folks,
So
if you didn't pick up on that.
So what was the weather like? What was the trail like?
Oh, it was, I think, in the 30s that day. So it was nice. You dress for it, and you get warmed up on a bike.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. How long does it take you to ride 7 miles on a bike?
Well, I can usually do the whole loop if I don't go down to the waterfall. I can do it in under 2 hours, usually.
Oh, really?
If you take your time or go with friends, it's a little longer than that, but...
Okay.
He bicycles a lot more than...
Well, what I'm thinking is it's a whole day trip for me, not a half day for him.
If you're walking,
Pack 'em.
yeah.
Well,
it's longer,
if I take a full day and I park the bike and then we'll take the 5-minute walk down to the frozen waterfall, get my gear out, take photos of it so I can have my own because I shared your image on my personal account, even in my story. It wasn't like I posted it on my grid.
Look at this photo I took.
No, because people
Imagine what you're giving permission to when you offer.
Well, the funny thing is, I have my personal Instagram account and then the Visit Great Falls, and I was on my personal one. Forgot I was, and I'm commenting on all these photos that says, "We love this photo and we would love to feature your photo on our grid while taking you, of course. Comment back, best of base camp if you agree." And someone replied and was like, "Okay?" Question mark. I'm like, "Oh no, this is from my personal account. How embarrassing." So I had to remove that. But when I went to my personal account, went to your page and then shared it on my story. And I said, "Everyone look, someone take me here." Because it's awesome. Showed it to my husband. And then he texted me while he was out at work and he said, "Hey, send me that picture of the frozen waterfall again. So-and-so wants to go do it." And it's people like you that let us share this content that we get to tell everyone, like, how amazing is this? Please do it. Tell us about it.
And it's not that we're held up on a couch in our house. It's simply there's so much to do
Yes.
that if we don't have other people out doing the things, we won't ever know what's happening.
Exactly. Yeah.
The photos you took of Ryan Dam at sunset with your bike there, and it's one of the ones we bought from you. Yep, we don't just share it. We eventually said, "Hey, Chance,
We'll give
gonna
you
put
some money.
We're gonna put money where our mouth is. We're gonna buy some of these." We did buy the Box Elder Creek photos, so super happy about that. When you go out and do that, do you plan to go at sunset? Are you one of those people that takes that into consideration?
Yeah, and I think that one was actually sunrise. But
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
sometimes I will try to plan for that. I love getting out in the mornings and
Okay, sunrise here in the summer, because you took that this summer, right? Or
on Ryan Dam, it was kind of early summer, late spring.
okay, so sunrise is like 6 a.m.
Yeah, somewhere around in there. Yeah.
Holy
So you just so you wake up that early and you go?
When I can go see a sunrise on a bike, I will.
You don't have to tell me what you do for a living, but do you have a job, or is it just are you an influencer and I don't know that I've just been influenced? Or
Well,
like a
maybe you
ninja?
do need a career change
Yeah.
because influencers, well, some of them make good money, others don't.
Boy, I would take it if I could. That's for sure.
And then we look at the other photos, like say when you go on a hike with your family to the high woods, and that was on a trail. What was it? The Moon Ridge Trail?
Oh, the Windy Mountain Trail.
Windy
Yeah.
Mountain Trail.
Mhm.
How long is that hike?
So that one, oh man. So that one I actually did most recently on a bike, and I did 2 loops. So, man, I can't
that
tell you
one.
an exact, but you can park right there at the campground and just go as far as you want. To get to the top, I think you could probably do it in an hour, I would think, hiking to
Okay.
get to the view.
Oh,
Okay.
So, yeah, not that bad.
So
That's doable.
a little scenic drive out there,
Yeah.
park and enjoy, do a picnic. Okay.
Exactly.
But you do this with your mountain bike.
That's my favorite way to explore. Absolutely.
Okay.
You said earlier you just recently started doing the mountain biking thing. So you've been an avid bicyclist, or have you been like a motorbike kid?
No, not really. And honestly, I really got into the outdoors about 7 or 8 years ago. Before then, it was kind of
Late
sports
bloomer.
and everything. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And so fly fishing is kind of my big passion prior to mountain biking.
Okay.
But so now I kind of combo the two of them.
Of course.
And hiking and backpacking and stuff I love too. So
We had Fred Talene on
Yeah.
from the fly shop at North 40 earlier this week, actually.
awesome.
Was it yesterday?
I have no clue, but I will tell you, listeners, you won't get these in order.
No. And he told us about his love for fly fishing and how he can make us experts in 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So we're gonna test him. We're gonna go
awesome.
and we're gonna see if he can teach me how to throw a fly line.
he'll get you into fish. Fred's a good guy.
You know what just really upsets me about people like you and Fred? So
Such a great way to start a sentence.
Roland pisses me off too. You guys are doing such amazing things and you make it seem so easy. And the fact is that it probably is easy. I just have this mental block that I know that fly rods collapse and they go in a nice little case. You can easily put it in your backpack. I can take a mountain bike and go down this trail and enjoy an amazing day. But for some reason in my mind, I'm thinking I can't do it. But you're saying that after a year and a half of mountain biking, this is the reason we brought him on, people. He said he mountain biked the sluice boxes trails. So those are, I've been to sluice boxes. I can at least claim I know something there. Those aren't for mountain bikes, but you did it.
I did it, but I wasn't riding the entire thing, that's for sure.
Okay.
It's kind of, that's an adventure where you're carrying your bike as much as you're riding it sometimes.
Where did you, tell us which part of the trails you went on, where you started, because the cliff's edge.
Yeah. So what I did is I started at the overlook, same spot up on the hill, and then I went down, but you go left to that cliff area, and I went up and over the top and bypassed that. And then, and then I just stayed on the trail all the way through. And, it's, I can't remember how many miles it is, but all the way through the tunnel, the bridges, and I had to get off. There's trees down. I had to get over.
Yeah.
I think you crossed the creek 7 times. Had to,
There's a lot of creek crossings in sluice boxes.
You did the entire loop?
Yeah, I went all the way through. I didn't do from bridge to bridge, but from the overlook all the way through. Yeah, and that's where I saw there's those ruins, that mining ruins back there. I think that kiln, and I think where they were processing limestone, as I understand it. And yeah, it's really scenic. I would recommend to hike it, but
because that's what we do. Is recommend hiking.
But if you're an adventurous mountain biker, I thought it was fun.
Well, our tagline is Sluice Boxes State Park has adventure for every level of outdoor enthusiast. You can be the average person, that does it in sandals, or you could be the person that's all geared up and you're hiking it, and it's dangerous at some points depending on where you want to go. And
exactly.
But then you're like, oh, and by the way, let's add another level.
Let's do bicycles.
Yeah. So when you did this, it was during the summertime. Did you come across any other hikers, or did you have the trails to yourself?
I always start early. And so, I didn't see anybody till I got to the Logging Creek Bridge. I saw a few people, but that was it.
Did they take pictures of you?
No.
Look at this guy.
Look at this crazy guy.
No.
What he is doing.
Or do they immediately feel horrible about themselves? Like when I see what you're doing, I'm like, wow, I should have done that, but I didn't.
Oh, I don't know. They looked like they were having a good time too.
So you have a family, you're married, and you have two kids? How many kids?
2 kids, yeah.
2 kids, and they go on these excursions with you, right?
Yep. Oh, yeah, we like to get them out there, yeah.
How hard is it, or easy, with kids? How old are they?
8. Alexi's 8 and Trek is 6.
Okay.
And it kind of depends on what we're doing, but hiking is a ton of fun, and we're getting him into fly fishing now.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Yeah, so that was Trek caught his first on a fly rod this year, and Lexi caught her first last year. So
perfect.
Like to get him on creeks where the fishing's easier, and that's a lot of fun. And they're just getting into mountain biking too, but so far we pretty much stuck to the Coulter Trail.
Okay.
You know which one that one is, down by the, right where the rainbow. Yeah. Instead of going onto the main trails, go cross the road, and there's a fun trail there for if you're starting out on a mountain bike or kids, and it's a really nice, fun, safe trail, and that's where pretty much we hang out. That or the Skills Park is a lot of fun too for them.
Okay. The Skills Park is on the trail too, right?
Yeah, from the Rainbow Overlook, if you just go up that road and around the corner, there's a little dirt parking lot, and you can go down there from there, and it's a fun little trail, especially for...
So you're a nice, well-mannered man right now. Are you drill sergeant during the mountain biking? You're like, no, this is how you do this. Well, I don't know the nomenclature for mountain biking, but I want to know how tough you are on your children to be successful so then they can be Instagram influencers too.
Right. So far, I'm just trying to get them to have fun, so I'm pretty easy on them.
Yeah.
Okay.
My wife might say that I'm a drill sergeant.
So does your wife like mountain biking too?
She's getting into it too, yeah.
So
we've had her
her
a few times. Yeah, exactly.
But does she enjoy it?
She has, yeah. She's had some fun rides, and she's had some rides that weren't so fun. So I'm kind of learning.
Which ones weren't fun?
We went on one,
or challenging, probably.
Yeah, we went on one called Tillinghast in the Little Belts, and that one was probably just a little bit much uphill and stuff right off the bat and everything. It was a little bit too much too soon, but she had fun. She just had a bad experience right in the middle of it.
Okay.
So how much of the Little Belts have you done? Because that is a huge mountain complex with tons of trails. And, of course, it's the one trail or the one mountain system that lets all things fly.
Right. Yeah, exactly. There's so many out there, and I've only done a few. I've done Bender Creek, which is a lot of fun on a mountain bike. Tillinghast a few times, and I've done a trail called the Arch Trail. which is more of a motorcycle trail, but it was fun on a bike. I think if you go earlier in the year, it'd be more fun. It's pretty loose when I did it, but the arch is really neat to see. And then that's about it in the Little Belts. But there's a list, I had a list this summer that I wanted to do, and the fires are unfortunately kind of shut me down. But yeah.
What's on your list that you haven't done?
Jefferson Creek is supposed to be a lot of fun.
Yeah,
that's what Chris has told me at Bighorn there. And
where is that? Where's
so
Jefferson Creek?
you go past Nyhart a few miles. I've seen it on a map, and then there's a road. I don't know which road it is, but a road going off to the left. They're pretty close to Nyhart.
Okay, and is it going to have good fishing there too, or?
That's a good question. I don't even know. I just know the trail is supposed to be a lot of fun.
I haven't heard that the fishing is good at Jefferson Creek, but it is very pretty.
Okay. So one of our because we're in a new fiscal year for this organization, it says like monthly goals we're supposed to achieve, and one that doesn't have one is just to get build our photo library. So give me your list of rides you're doing, and then I can know what kind of photos that I'm going to buy. And then I'll just send you out with a camera. And you can do it. I mean, if you're packing a fly rod, you can bring a camera with you.
Heck yeah, I'm up.
We have a company camera that's already in a backpack, so
that's awesome.
Just slip
It's
your
a
fly
in.
rod.
The backpack's pink and it's bedazzled. No, it's fine. Whatever.
It'll work today.
Yes. When you go on the Little Belts, you said you start off early in the morning. So for you, I'm going to circle back to this. Do you work a normal office job, or are you just like whenever you want to, you just show up and tell your boss, like, I'm done influencing?
I'm actually in a transition career-wise right now.
Okay.
For the last 15 years, I actually did HVAC.
Okay.
And so in January, I just quit that, and I'm kind of getting into real estate. I just flipped a house in Shelby, actually, I just got done with. So I generally do but I've had 4-day work weeks for quite a while. So a lot of times my adventures are early Friday mornings.
Okay, that makes more sense. Because,
And honestly, early morning is my most favorite time to get out.
I love it, yeah.
Very few people are up at that time, which is nice.
Yep.
And it's usually cooler because I don't like the heat.
Exactly, especially right now. You get up and you get a crisp morning still. And
are you talking about right now in the studio that we don't have a vent? I know you noticed that. I noticed why he was staring at the ceiling like, looks like their studio really is horrible.
Chance, you should know this used to be a closet, and I guess closets don't get vents.
Actually, I'd be guilty of that myself at times. This doesn't need a vent.
It's a closet. That's fine.
Push forward. Yeah, I definitely get the renovation side where you start off and everything's perfect, and then you're towards the end of the project and you're like, anything will do. Let's just get it done.
Exactly.
Then while we scheduled you to talk about the sluice boxes, you just recently went to Our Lake. And for our listeners that don't know what Our Lake is, it's mine. That's what we call it. No, it is.
Maudie created it.
It's our as in Oscar uniform Romeo.
Thank you.
Because other people are going to Google it with an H and be like, they're not going to find anything.
Right, yeah.
So that's about 75 miles from Great Falls, a day trip, maybe an overnight, hiking, camping, come back to Great Falls. Because that's probably what I'll do it, how I do it. But I'm going to need you on the spot to give me an itinerary, how long it's going to take me to get there.
Where do you enter? Like, what's the nearest town? We could start with that.
So, you go to Shodo, and there's a ski resort out there, too.
Yeah.
What escapes my mind all of a sudden. But there's a road going out there into the mountains, a paved road. And go down that, and just before you get into the mountains, there'll be a sign for it. You go to, it's Ear Mountain, I think is what the sign is for.
Okay.
And it's the South Fork of the Teton.
Okay.
Is what you'll be driving along. And you just take that road basically all the way to the end. And right there is a gravel road that goes, half hour back there or something. And then there's a trailhead there, and you can camp there. People camp there right at the trailhead. There's also a campground just before the trailhead, Mill Falls Campground. And then you get to the trailhead, and the trail takes off, and the trail is to Headquarters Pass, but quarter mile, half a mile, and there's a spur going off to the right, and that goes up to Our Lake. And it's about 3 miles up there, and it's a lot of switchbacks. It's a really nice grade. It's not real steep, and really nice hike in there. And there's a waterfall just below the lake. You walk under, and a lot of people will backpack just below that waterfall. And then, because on the lake itself, you can't camp within 1,000 feet of the shoreline. But then you get up on top of there, and it's just a beautiful alpine lake. Wow. Lots of fish. And
why can't you camp within 1,000 feet of the shoreline?
It's visited so much, it would it would destroy the...
Well, when you shared your photos, it looks like it's untouched, and I guess those rules are working.
Yes,
that's
exactly.
good.
Yeah.
Because the wildflowers, I didn't even notice that it was smoky. Because, it is fire season in Montana. And if you want any updates about wildfires in our area, on our website, visit greatfallsmontana.org. There's a banner that runs up atop across from it. And also on Recreate Responsibly, it gives you some information too. But when it's, safer or the fires aren't roaring, you have these photos and the water is a lie on Instagram, right? Or is it real? I haven't been there.
It is. It's really pretty. Yeah, the water's clear. And the flowers, I walked around to the backside of the lake. There's a nice trail that goes to the backside, and it's just a beautiful hillside.
Do you have a fitness tracker or any step counter watch or anything?
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
What do you have?
I use I have a Garmin Phoenix 6 or something like that,
okay.
and it's linked up, and then I use Strava and everything and whatnot.
Okay,
yeah.
so where you're going, and you're like, wow, I hiked 1,000 miles today.
Yeah.
Well, what did you do? So you hiked the 3 miles in with the nice switchbacks, but then you said you're hiking behind it. How many miles did you put in that day?
Oh man, it's just something over 7 miles.
Oh, that's okay. That's
that's a
nothing.
doable day.
That's nothing. Yeah. Okay. All right. And then did you camp overnight or did you head back?
No, we just did a quick morning trip. And brought our pack rafts. I don't know if you saw that or know what a pack raft is.
Oh, I saw.
I don't know what a pack raft is.
Tell me everything.
They're pretty fun. I got mine from Alpaca Raft. It's an online dealer. But I know Chris, I think at Bighorn sells Cocopelli. And they're just a little raft. Mine is just under 6 pounds, and you can fold it up to just fit inside of a backpack, and then a paddle's a pound and a half or something like that. So around 7 pounds, and you can pack the whole thing up there, and it's a lot of fun on rivers or lakes, and paddle around. Some lakes I've been in in other areas. They're big lakes, and some of the shoreline you can't walk all the way around or take you most of a day to explore the entire area. But you get on a pack raft, and you can, half hour get all the way across the lake, and it's a really fun way to fish and explore.
So then I just, expand this raft, and it inflated or?
Yeah, sorry, yeah. So you pack it all down, and then it has a little air bag or blow bag or whatever you'd call it. But so how it works is, imagine if you have a garbage bag, and you have it wide open, and you close it tight, and you can picture all that air in there.
Yeah.
So that's what you do. You screw this into the raft, and you open it up, close it tight, and then you push all that air into it.
Huh.
And then you just finish it off, just kind of blowing it in
I'm
with your
amazed.
mouth, I guess. But yeah, anyways, inflate it up. And it takes a couple of minutes to inflate it. It's amazing how well it works. Yeah.
And they might have it at Bighorn.
Yeah, I know Chris has carried them in the past. I don't know that I've seen one recently.
I have a company credit card.
There you go. Yeah.
How many people does it fit?
They have a lot. Like Alpaca Raft has a lot of different ones, but I know they have 2-man ones. I don't think you have anything more than a 2-man.
Okay.
So then you took your family, because I saw that you guys went fishing there too and caught something, right?
That they actually just took a buddy of mine.
Okay.
Yeah, but we did. We fished up there. Yeah, there was lots of eager fish.
Wow. Okay.
He was hungry
for
for flies.
Yeah, exactly.
So you just did a morning trip. So how long did you spend there? 4 hours, 5 hours?
Yeah, I think we probably spent about 2 or 3 hours on the lake, something
Okay.
like that, and probably 3 hours of hiking and kind of whatnot.
Perfect day.
This is perfect. My weekend is planned.
Yeah, exactly.
I haven't shut up about it. Well, I have my parents visiting at the end of this month. Their dates aren't set in stone yet, but we did the glacier when they came a few years ago, and we might consider going to Yellowstone. But I don't want to go to a national park. I want to go to our lake. I want to stay closer in town just because my kids aren't sick, or my kid is not 6 or whatnot. She's still pretty young.
Okay, yeah.
And it's hard to get last minute reservations anywhere. But I am planning, scheming in my mind of all the things I want to do. And our lake just bumped up to the number 1.
Yeah, highly
spot.
recommend it. Yeah.
I highly recommend that you take a better camera with you or give me a heads up next time. Hey, Marty, seems like you share my photos all the time. I'm going to be going to a gorgeous spot soon. Could you sponsor it? And I'll say yes. And then I'm like, here's your camera. You want to talk about Bighorn Outdoor Specialists, Chris and
Go
Beth?
for it.
Yeah, we could have helped you out. So the more you know, okay?
What is one of your most favorite trails that you've done either by foot or by bicycle in the last 6 months?
In the last 6 months, man, I mean, our lake is way up there. It's just so scenic. Man, in the last 6 months.
You stumped him.
You did. There's so many. I'm trying to narrow it all down. But
Yeah, there
you
is so many. You go to this guy's Instagram and you're like, he did this day. Like, he's always doing stuff, and I'm so jealous. I want to do that level of activity, but I won't be a mountain biker ever.
You know, and the weird thing is, I pay her to go get photos.
She pays me to do other things too, though. So
that is
yeah,
true.
there's only so much time. But
yeah.
And
No,
I shouldn't say I pay her. People who stay in hotel rooms pay her.
There we go.
But I mean, the sluice boxes, it's hard to beat. I've been in there a lot of times. But oh, and speaking of pack rafts, I've floated the sluice boxes in the pack rafts.
Really?
And that is a lot of fun.
When
Yeah.
did you do it?
Was it?
It's been a few years, and I've done it in the springtime when the water's high. Yeah,
Did you listen
it
to our
death
episode?
defying?
I did with Roland. Yeah,
Do you believe what he saw on the shoreline?
that's crazy. Like, I guess.
We've mentioned it numerous times on the podcast. Just roll with it with Roland Taylor, a nature photographer whose art is up for auction at the 24th annual Paris Gibson Museum of Art juried auction and exhibit. There we go. Ooh, I said it. 2 of his pieces are on display up for auction. He did the rafting and saw kayak. Darn it. Same thing during the episode. He saw a man with a lion. So an African lion. There it was. And it's a chance you did not have the same experience.
I didn't know. Did not see a lion.
Did you see any other wildlife?
No, I did not see any on my trips. No wildlife to speak of. I've seen wildlife in there, of course, like bears and whatnot, but not those trips. No.
Fred told us that he took a boat out somewhere, forgot where, and a bear almost dropped in it. It was
Really?
right
It was
above.
up on the tree.
Whoa.
And he's like, bark's coming into the boat, and I don't know what it is. I look up, and like, bear's coming, and then he moves the boat, and then plop.
Good night.
Yes, exactly.
Could you imagine?
Jeepers.
This is where people, I think you and Fred should probably have like the GoPros, just walking around. And if I could have gotten video of that,
Oh, man. Could you imagine?
that would have been amazing. That would have been amazing.
So what was it like in your pack raft going down sluice boxes? Well, Belt Creek and the sluice boxes.
It's a ton of fun. I mean, yeah, there's some pretty good rapids in there in the springtime, and I'm, not a pro, and I've never kayaked, so it's not as responsive as a kayak and whatnot. But it's a rush. Some of those rapids are pretty strong and get bounced around pretty good.
Who did you go with?
I went with a few different people, just friends of mine. I haven't got my family out there yet, but just some of us guys have gone out there a few different times.
Yeah. I'll have to wait a few years.
Yeah, exactly.
So the big joke from Roland's time on the podcast was we now don't want Coleman canoes ever.
Oh, right, yeah.
So my husband found this great canoe because we were going to go back up to Swift Dam or Swift Reservoir and go canoeing. We have to buy a canoe because nobody's dropped off a canoe in our parking lot yet. And so he goes, well, I found this Coleman canoe. And I'm like, no, can't have Coleman.
Right.
Sorry, guy.
Coleman's good for a lot of other outdoor stuff, but I'm a little scared for my first time out in a canoe to be a Coleman since they seem to wrap around rocks randomly.
Well, now you can get a pack raft.
Still think I want something hard-sided.
I need to.
I'm not that adventurous yet.
Yeah, because we had someone else just on the podcast that we're going to release soon about whitewater rafting the White Cliffs.
Oh, yeah.
And he gave us his get up for his raft and how to make it like a pontoon without a motor.
Oh, wow.
That's the kind of experience I want, and I don't think I can do that in the Belt Creek if it's going to be
Yeah.
I can't have a canopy and
No.
No, it's an
Narrow.
action sport down there. It's
Yeah.
not leisurely.
no, okay. So we do know that you still mountain bike in the winter, but is there any other winter activities that you do?
I've done a little bit of snowshoeing, and I listened to your podcast on Snowcrest too, and I said, man, I've never been there. Couldn't believe it. So that's a must do this winter.
It's so awesome.
Yeah.
My daughter had the sticks, like took them from my husband, would not give them back.
Wow.
So
That's awesome.
she had a blast. It's like she didn't even want to be near us. She's like, you're slowing me down. Because we had a sled to drag her.
Yeah.
Nope. She's
Nope.
like, let's go. My husband did have his like rucksack, and she eventually just fell asleep in there.
Oh, yeah. It's amazing that it works so well.
Yeah, it worked. But that place is amazing.
Huh.
And someone that you mentioned that you liked who's on the podcast, he does guided tours through Silvercrest.
Oh, wow.
So if you contact him at the Lewis and Clark Interpretive Center,
Oh,
he takes
wow.
selective people on
Okay.
tours there.
That
Yeah.
would be interesting.
Well, with him too.
Yeah, exactly.
So I would like to do that this winter as well.
Definitely. Wow.
I'll be the commentary. Dwayne's gonna be like, why did I invite her?
No.
Why did I tell her this
You're-
information?
You're going to show up on the list. He's like, oh, it's canceled.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Chance, we really want to thank you for taking your time to come in here and share about your mountain biking on the River's Edge Trail and our lake and sluice boxes and pretty much all the outdoor adventure that you take advantage of that we should too. We are going to show all the photos that we have shared from Chance on our Instagram on the show notes.
Oh, so like a Chance album.
Pretty much.
Perfect.
It's going to be a big page. And if
Oh,
you
boy.
if you are like Chance, make sure you tag us in your photos so we can share it on our page, because all of our content, probably 98% of it, is user generated. I just share, and I appreciate it when people tell me where they took the photo. You don't have to give me exact coordinates, but for example, today I accidentally mislabeled a location, and our followers are like,
That's not where that's at.
yeah, thankfully they help me out sometimes. But yeah, just tag us. We're at Visit Great Falls, and we want to see what you're doing out there. So if you have any questions, you can always call me at 406-761-4436 or email me at information@visitgreatfalls.org.
There you go. The only podcast where you can directly talk to the host.
Yes, co-host. Okay.
Yeah.
I
didn't contribute much today. I just sat here in awe.
and ask questions.
Sometimes I do that.
So, Chance, I'm sure we're going to have you on the podcast again after you do
Yeah.
the Silvercrest.
Oh, yeah,
And
sure.
once you get your family to do it too, let us know beforehand. We might make some arrangements, okay?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then feel free to continue to explore, like you need my permission, and sharing all these amazing photos. In addition, like Madi said, come back and tell us all about the things that you're learning about our great area that we haven't done yet. And you listeners, plan your itinerary to be out here. You can be like Madi and start your own podcast and find people that you can interview so that you know how to plan your weekend trips. Or you could just listen to us and do what we do, because it is absolutely amazing here in Montana's greatest damn town.
There you go.
We are the base camp for art and adventure, and we will continue to share with you all the knowledge you need to have the best experiences when you're out here. If you've loved this episode and you want more of us and our guests, go to we'renodamnexperts.com.
And you'll see all the show notes and information. So, Chance, thanks again for being on the podcast. And until we see your bright, shining, happy face here in Great Falls, we hope you're creating amazing memories with your friends and family.
Bye-bye.
We're No Dam Experts is the recorded claims from Great Falls, Montana, covering what you need to know about this amazing damn town. Damn, that felt good.
On the next episode of We're No Dam Experts, Rebecca and Madi recap their summer here in Great Falls, Montana. We're No Dam Experts is produced by Great Falls, Montana Tourism with original music by the best damn musician, Joel Corda.